All right, good morning, fellas and ladies. Today is May the 23rd, 12:04 a.m. Eastern Time. So we're going to go through a quick market recap and looking forward to the start of the week, starting today, Wednesday, May the 23rd. So we should get some potential trades, or at least one or two good trades before the end of the week, and we're looking to capitalize on those trades. So we have a lot of pound information this week. Starting off with yesterday, we had inflation report hearings, which didn't move the market much. We're looking for CPI year over year, core CPI. We'll see, how that comes out. A beat would probably be good. A miss will probably extend the pound a little bit more. I'm not sure how far. Probably depends on the peers we're trading. So we'll just see what the print is and what to expect from the print. Prior to that, before that, at 3 a.m., we could see some euro strength or weakness. At the current moment, euro is actually weak. We have a lot of political events that's happening. One of the events is, as you can see here, one of those events is the Italian issue that's happening here. So let me see if I can find any kind of news. Italy League search. Okay, so we have the Italy political talks that's weighing on the euro. Now we having Trump having his doubts on the North Korean leader, and North Korea meeting and China negotiations. All those things are having the market a little bit spooked at the moment. As you can see, we're looking at the market in the negative right now, which is supporting the yen. As you can see here, clearly everything red. Nikkei 225 is down over 1%. Topics is close to 1%. ASX 200 is in the red. Hang Seng is in the red. And we have quite a few more that's in the red. So overall, negative market tone, which is having the yen strengthen. And you can see here, as I always mention, Nikkei 225 heading south. That's yen strength. Nikkei 225 heading north. That's yen weakness. So let's just move some of these things here. As you can see, we got, if this is a pullback, we'll just have to see how far, as these geopolitical events play out, and market tends to get the jitters and, tend to go safe haven flow. So we'll see if that continues during the European session. As of right now, you can see dollar index is at resistance from high of 95, low of 88. We got a pullback to the 93.74. FOMC could either give us this reversal and heading back south, or it could give us that boost to break this this potential level here. So we were waiting on the FOMC to give us some kind of signal. See that level. Positive FOMC, we could see this level, break and push higher to, these levels here that we're looking at right here, which is first target 97. We could probably look at the 95, 96 handle psychological level, the 97.70, and up to the 99.30. So three potential levels if this resistance level is broken, if we get a positive upbeat FOMC. So we're going back to our economic calendar. So we're paying attention. If we get positive reading here, we could see the euro, rally for a little bit. But I don't know. I think the Italian political talks is way more important. It's weighing down on the euro. So even though we could see if we get positive data prints, this could just be, short-lived. Could just see euro strengthen, and it could be a potential sell on that pullback for the euro. So we'll see how that plays out, and that's something I'm looking to actually trade to get in, as I'm looking for bigger events. So we have the Aussie RBA governor. He's due to speak about China's economy, financial systems. That has the potential to move the market as well. If the market is still in a negative sentiment and we get a positive RBA, then we could look to go, long Aussie New Zealand, long Aussie CAD. Those risk on, currencies in a negative environment, will tend to soften a bit or weaken a bit. So, if you guys choose to trade the Aussie, if we get positive remarks, one that I'll be keeping an eye on is obviously the 430 CPI. It's inflation. That's important. The last meeting that the Bank of England had, that was a concern. They said it was transitory. So, we'll see what this print brings, and we'll see basically how the market reacts to it, and then we'll definitely react. Obviously, if we get a beat, that'll be positive. We'll rather some kind of deviation from expectation. If we get a miss, just be careful. The pound has taken a beating for a while, as you can see here. This is the pound Aussie. It's taking a beating. All these pullbacks. Excuse me. All those pullbacks that we're getting, as you can see, weekly support 3. That means this went deep, all the way down to here. So, this basically technical support level here after being beaten up so much. As you can see right here, RSI relative strength, just popping out of oversold territory. So if we get any kind of positive thing, I'm not saying pound Aussie would probably be the best, but if we get negative news out of the RBA and we get positive data from CPI, then as you can see, we have a lot of room to run till we get back up to the zone right here, which could be, a take profit area, and potentially push higher. So, that's just something definitely keep an eye on. As you can see here, support. So anywhere up in here, we could probably see some kind of reaction here. So, that's if it comes out in line with our analysis. So I'm going to be looking at a lot of pound pairs, just because that's what we're kind of looking at right now. I'm going to close these out at the moment. I'll leave USD in. Euro USD, close that out. Alright. As you can see, New Zealand, Aussie, as you can see, is weakened versus the yen. New Zealand again. We also had some news out of New Zealand. They're surprised I don't see it here. Let's just go here. RBNZ speaker came out earlier and he spoke. And he was pretty much, well, I guess the market see it as dovish. Alright, I'm not seeing it here, but probably if I go to Google and search, I'll be able to find it. But as you can see, we have CAD sticks to hold pattern as NAFTA uncertainty lingers. So I've been saying this for a while. CAD and NAFTA uncertainty, could potentially weigh on CAD. But we did see the oil market, probably reach this peak, and we're gonna see some kind of correction now. But it's still not out of the uptrend at this particular time. So we could draw it here, or if you want to draw, we could draw right here, or it could be right here. So it's depending on how you draw it, how tight you want it. If you're looking at a potential pullback on oil, you can see where we found support at 38.2. So if oil were to pull back, it's also in line with past resistance, future support. So that's just something that we're probably going to keep an eye on. If I had to draw a channel, it's still in the channel. So we'll just keep an eye on that. But as we continue to look at pound pairs, I think that is important to euro pound. That's one. I think I like euro yen if we get some euro weakness. As you can see, 129, I believe 30. We're at 130 right now, so at least a 70 pip before we hit some kind of support levels on euro yen. So if we have bad prints coming out of the euro at 3, euro yen could be a potential trade, but keep in mind that about 129.30 is where you could probably see some potential support coming in. As you can see here, support 3, so we would like to see a pullback. So yeah, it's probably where we're probably going to take a look at. Be anywhere off in here. So that's the zone we're looking at. If we get some negative euro data at 3, potentially we could see price test up in this zone right here, and if the negative market sentiment continues, then we definitely have euro yen to the downside, targeting probably 129, well, I'm sorry, 129, which should be targeting target 2 here. So we'll keep an eye on that. Looking at a few more pound pairs. Pound New Zealand. Pound Aussie. Pound CAD. Pound USD. Pound Swiss. Is it Pound Swiss or Swiss Pound? Pound Swiss. Alright. So as you can see, guys, we're looking at the pound has been taking a beating. So I think a positive print will probably give us more upside than downside, than to further down, as you can see. If you were to look at this as a pullback, um, then you'll definitely see that it's probably pulled back into some kind of level. So yeah, it will be right in our buy zone here. Obviously we need, and this is a week data chart. Obviously we need economic data to help us out on the positive side if that's the case. So we're gonna keep an eye on pound. It's not my first choice, pound Swiss. If we get positive pound, I would say pound New Zealand will probably be my first choice. If we get negative euro print at 3, positive pound at 4.30, then euro, short euro pound would be a good play. So we're looking here. We got a bounce. We got to bounce off that level. So yeah, we could definitely see positive pound, pushing us back up to some of these highs, or at least a nice, 100, 150 pip move. So you can see here 95.30, 95.35. Looks pretty, as a pretty take profit target. Back to the 61% pullback, which is also the weekly pivot. And the next would be possibly weekly resistance 1 if we get a positive print out of the CPI. Let's look at Aussie. Yes, Aussie also has push to the upside. Pound, it's pound Aussie, pound CAD. Again, also has push to the upside. This looks like you could see some kind of I think that's what I'm seeing here. Divergence kicking in. Obviously started from back here. If you want, we could probably do it like this. And MACD, price heading down. Price heading down, MACD heading up. That's potential trend reversal. Get down to the lower time frame. This is pound CAD. Obviously, if we get in, the stop will be below here, which would be 71.40. We're at 72 for almost 100 pip. So we definitely, would prefer a pullback. But obviously, if we get a beat, depending on what the beat is, probably have to get in right away or probably have to wait for a pullback. But needless to say, we have at least back up to the 74 7400 psychological level. So more positive signs to the upside on the pound. Obviously, if we get a negative, we could just see pound retest and buyers come back in, see that pound being cheap. So I'll probably look for a positive more than a negative to get a better risk to reward. So we'll kind of see what happens. What else is there? Dollar and pound. Not probably a trade I'm looking to get into, even if the pound beats or miss, because we're having at 2 p.m. FOMC later on, a few hours from then. So I don't want to get in a pound dollar trade and don't not know what's going to happen here at 2 p.m. So we're going to probably stay out of the pound dollar pair. But every other pound, so if we get a miss, probably not inclined to trade it, but if we get a miss, if you get a miss in CPI, I could probably go dollar pound. Anticipating that the dollar could probably strengthen. If you want to stay away from the dollar pound, more negative market sentiment, we could definitely go to, and how did I forget this? Pound yen. If we get a miss on CPI, pound yen would be probably the trade that I would probably look to take, especially if we have a negative market sentiment. So let's just see on this pullback what happened. So we got a pullback to the 38.2, and if we get a miss and market sentiment stays the same, what are we looking at in terms of targets? So we're looking at 143. We're at 148 right now. Obviously, this would probably be the first near-term potential support. 145.72. We break that, then we could see a push all the way down to potentially 143. So those are the pairs. Everything I went through. I'll definitely I'll be up a few minutes before. I'm gonna get a few hours of sleep and wake up for that event. So I'll see you guys in a few hours. Bye.